Welcome to another edition of Michael's Kitchen. It's right before the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashana. Nothing goes better with Rosh Hashana than delicious homemade apple cobbler. It is delicious, it is sweet, it's the perfect addition to your table, to your meal. I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's go! So I like to start out using Granny Smith apples. They are sour, mixed with the sugar, the sweetness. It gives it a nice mix of flavors, okay? So what we want to do is we want to skin the apple and we want to take out the core as well, right? So what I do is I cut the apple in half and then I cut them into quarters. Cut off one side here, one side there, and then one cut, and essentially I've cored the apple. Alright? I want to now peel it, so take a peeler, and this is what I want to have. A nice, clean, cored apple. Okay? So we'll continue doing that for the rest of the apples, and we'll show you the next step. So I've cut the apples into further halves. So essentially this is what I have. Okay. So to make the apple part of the apple cobbler, we're going to have 50 grams of margarine that I use. I have half a cup of lemon juice. I have a teaspoon and a half of cinnamon, and I have 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. Okay, we're going to go to the skillet and we're going to show you how to make it. Okay, so I have my skillet going on a medium fire. I'm going to go ahead and add the margarine and let that cook down a little bit. Okay, so we have 50 grams of margarine over there. To that, we're going to add our lemon juice. Next, we're going to add the brown sugar. We'll give that a mix as well. We'll start to mix that in. Just give it a nice mix. Of course, last but not least, we're going to add our cinnamon. We add our cinnamon in. And mix that in well. Finally, we're going to add our apples. Okay, and our apples. I'm going to make sure that we mix it all in. Okay, and of course we're going to let it cook down, I would say for about maybe 10 minutes or so. We'll make sure we get it nice all uncovered. We want the apples to be a little bit soft. We don't want it to be mushy because it's still going to go into the oven, of course. Okay, but we still want it to be cooked down a little bit. So we'll come back and I'll show you how it looks like. So while the apples are cooking down, we're going to go ahead and focus on the crust. So we have 2 cups of flour. Okay, to that we're going to add a 3/4 of a cup of white sugar. We're going to add another tablespoon of vanilla sugar. We're going to add 1 egg, and we're going to add oil, which is about 1/3 of a cup. Okay, and we're going to start mixing this. Okay, don't be afraid. Oops, sorry. Just mix it down. Just keep mixing it. And essentially what you're going to get is sort of like crumbs. Just keep mixing it, keep mixing it. Okay, so you mix up, keep mixing, and this is of course what you're going to get. It's pretty much crumbs, and you can use this, by the way, for a crumb cake if you want to make one. If you know how to make a crumb cake, you can add cinnamon here. So essentially, this is the crumb base that we're going to make. Okay. We'll check on our apples as well. So we have our apples cooking down. Okay, they look just about ready. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it a little bit thicker. So you can take, if you want, cornstarch and water, or a little bit of flour and water, and just add it to the mix. Okay, and give it a nice stir. And this will thicken up the sauce. All right, make it a little bit easier to work with. So you can see that sauce are getting thicker. Okay, that's what the consistency that you're looking for. Okay, the apples are good to go. So we want to fill in the base. I usually use my hand. Okay, I create a nice crust bottom. Okay, I put this down and kind of work my way in. All right, so I work my way in. I'm basically creating a crust. The base. Pack it down nice and firm. And this is what you have. We have our apples here. I'm going to go ahead and add our apples to the base. Get all that sauce in there. Have that applesauce, packed with flavor. Okay. Rub that in. Last but not least, we're going to add our crumbs on top. Okay, so what it is, it's sprinkling, like you're making a pizza or something, right? I don't know. But you're sprinkling those crumbs on top of the apples. Whatever you have left, just go for it. Try to cover every bit of apple that you can. As much as you can. It's not a perfect science, but okay. Sorry. Essentially, this is what you have. Okay. This is going to go into the oven at 350 degrees for about 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, you want to check on it depending on how well burnt you like it, or how well, baked you like it. All right. So after about 40 minutes or so, I took out the apple cobbler. This is what it looks like. It looks amazing, I gotta tell you. It's crunchy. It's the perfect dish to add to your meal, your holiday meal. Enjoy it. Happy New Year to those who celebrate. And thanks for watching.